It's day 2 at the US Open, and the big story today is Carlos Alcaraz's haircut. He's changed his hair, he's winning matches, so that's not changing, and he's into the next round. We've had some big exits on the women as well. Svitolina, Madison Keys, who started the year so well, and Joao Fonseca, the sensation, wins again, and he loves the Grand Slams.
So day 2 in the books, and on the men's side, it was pretty much business as usual, especially for Carlos Alcaraz. Like you said in the intro, Joao Fonseca, he seems to be a Grand Slam sensation, brings his best tennis when it matters. But the big talking points, like you said, the hair's gone. Where is Alcaraz's hair gone? I was shocked when I saw it, and he's got phantom hair now, some people are saying, because he keeps reaching for it. It's all a bit amusing, but the crowd seemed to like it, didn't they, JG?
Yeah, I mean, what do you make of it? I feel like it's a good place to start because the haircut is dominating everything. It was his brother who started cutting his hair. I think he didn't do the best of jobs, and Alcaraz just chose to cut it all off. We know in previous tournaments he had his own barber who flies out. The name has just slipped from my mind. I don't know if you remember. Probably not. But yeah, the barber's it's too far for him to go all the way to New York. So he's relied on his brother. He did a terrible job, and he just thought, oh, let's take it all off. And we've seen some funny memes, TFO laughing at it. He asked the audience after his match what they thought of it. In terms of his tennis, for those who are coming for more serious things, you probably shouldn't come to Game to Love for that. But if you are here already, he did win his match comfortably against Opelka. I didn't expect anything else. It's quite funny seeing them both at the net at the end of the match. Alcaraz looks tiny compared to Opelka, and it's crazy because he's a tall guy, Carlos Alcaraz, 6'1", but yet he looks minuscule standing next to Riley Opelka. The match was just always at arm's length. Carlos Alcaraz didn't have to do his best, but it's enough against a player who doesn't have the mobility like a Carlos Alcaraz. But we're not even here with the tennis. You can talk about it a little bit. The haircut is what we're all looking at. What do you make of it? Do you like his haircut, Ben?
It's going to take some getting used to. It's. I was quite liking the fact that we saw Alcaraz with a nice haircut for quite some time, and yeah, I quite like it when it gets a little bit bushier. But this is just like completely like reinventing himself. I think. I don't think this has been done for any other reason. Obviously, he wants the fresh look. He likes to mix things up when he gets the slams, I think, as well. New outfits, new haircuts. Maybe this is what's going to take his game to the next level. He'll look in the mirror and he'll see like a sort of more aggressive version of himself that's going to go out there on the court and maybe be able to fire away all of these opponents and not drop too many sets in the process. And against Opelka, I thought he might drop a set if Opelka served his real best, but just goes to show, doesn't phase someone like Alcaraz. You can have the biggest, best serve, and as long as he can get into a rally, he'll still be able to break your serve, and then he just got it done. A break a set. That's all you need. That's like classic top level player, really. Like that's like your Djokovic and Nadal's from the past. They only need to break a set in the opening rounds, and once you've got that break, that's it. The set's done pretty much. So well done to him. This is what he was saying about his hair. Let's go back to the hair. He was saying how it feels. It's like quite different, I guess. I felt like my hair was really long already. And before the tournament, I said that I really wanted to get a haircut. Suddenly, my brother misunderstood with a machine. He just cut it, and the only way to fix it was to shave it off. To be honest, it's not that good. It's not that bad, I guess. And then they were saying, why was your brother cutting your hair? And in Paris, you brought Victor. Said New York is too far away for Victor. I'm not really into hair at all. Oh, he's not into hair. Okay. Is that not like JG? So I'm the guy who thinks like, okay, hair grows, and in a few days, it's going to be okay, I guess. It just happened. and that's it. That's a bit like me sometimes with my haircut, I have to say.
I mean, everyone, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Your hair does grow back. I think it makes him look a little bit more intimidating and scary, which could help him progress through this tournament. He's certainly playing at a good enough level, you'd think. And that's the name of the barber. It was Victor. The name eluded me. There was some famous people watching the match. Rory McIlroy, we know. Alcaraz loves golf. They met before the match and was having a little chat. And Alcaraz was speaking about how much it meant to him being in the company of such a golfing legend and icon, especially after his big victory this year. And he did a little celebration afterwards. I don't know if you saw the golf swing from Carlos Alcaraz he looked up to Rory. I found it a little bit cringe, to be fair. Rory looked it back and think, oh, what do I do now? This is a bit awkward because the camera pans to him after he's done the swing.
And there you go. There's McIlroy's face. As you said, looks super awkward. Probably went onto the big screen, I'm sure, in the stadium. If it was me, I probably would have pretended to hit it back with a tennis racket and exchange sports. But I wasn't there.
That's why you would fit perfectly into the cringe category and everyone would be dying with embarrassment.
That's it. So, yeah, that's Alcaraz through to round 2, though. Nice and comfortable. And you sent me over another tweet which relates to the fight for world number 1, which is the main talking point really about the tournament when we're thinking of Alcaraz and Sinner. And this is the points differential. If you take us through this.
Yeah, so Alcaraz needs to do the same result as Sinner to come back to number 1 for the first time since 2023. A final between them would decide who leaves New York City on top. And that's what it's coming down to, fine margins. Obviously, after Cincinnati with Sinner, it really did close the gap. And Alcaraz just needs to match him. You'd think that's not going to be possible because I'll be shocked if neither of these two make the final. So it's going to be whoever goes further or whoever wins the final between them, in my opinion. And I am favouring Jannik Sinner to keep it because I think he has the ability right now to dominate tennis on a hard court. And with that in mind, I put him above a Carlos Alcaraz. Despite what happened at Cincinnati, of course, a lot of illness was involved there. I'm still in the camp of Jannik.
Yes, his first match will be coming up later on today. And I expect him to start really, really well. I mean, it's Vic Capriva. No disrespect to him, but I think it's going to be a comfortable straight sets win. I don't see Capriva having any tools to be able to trouble the world number 1. More stats for Carlos Alcaraz, though. 19 is the number. 19-0 he is now from men's singles first round matches and Grand Slam main draws, along with Bjorn Borg and Rafael Nadal. There you go. That's an elite list, isn't it?
Yeah, he's doing well, but we already know that. He's breaking so many records and he's doing it earlier than most players. Definitely earlier than Jannik Sinner too. So it's something to note that he's got a few years on Jannik Sinner. But let's move over to the other stories. Enough of Alcaraz. The main thing being his hair. Let us know in the comments. What do you make of his hair? Do you like it? Do you not? Ben doesn't seem to. I don't mind it personally, and I think it makes him look quite scary. On the women's, we've had some shock exits. Some players we wasn't expecting to go out this early go out. The big one for me was probably Svitolina, more so than Mboku. The reason being Svitolina's experience. She's been here before. Her section's quite nice. And I remember we've both got her going relatively far through the draw because of her section she's in. Losing to Anna Bonda, I was not expecting it at all. She destroyed her racket before arriving at the net for the handshake. She had an outside chance to make the WTA finals, but had pretty poor American swing. Looked underpowered and erratic. 41 unforced errors today. It has dampened her chances of making the WTA finals now because she was having a good season. But I don't think that's the big thing for her. I think she just wants to progress and go far through these Grand Slams. And you never know. There is opportunities to get to these finals. We've seen so many finalists on the women's recently who we're not expecting to get there. And I think this was an opportunity for her. She's good enough. And it's a big chance lost. 41 unforced errors against Anna Bonda. Losing in straight sets, not really good enough from her.
Yeah, poor, unfortunately. But like Jose Morgado said, Her hard court swing hasn't been the best since we've got back onto it. Obviously, in Montreal, she did okay. She went through a few rounds and then lost to Osaka in straight sets, but then in Cincinnati lost straight away to Barbora Krejcikova. And straight sets to Bond are, I don't know what to make of it. It's obviously just a terrible day at the office. It can happen. You don't know what's going on with her off court as well. Sometimes you bring some of your problems onto the court. Maybe she's not been feeling her best. We don't know, but this is just a dreadful result for her and someone we did have going far. Somebody else who we did have going far as well. And for me, it's, well, there's two players actually. And I know that we've just said the big upset is Svitolina. But I actually think a bigger upset for me is Zarazua knocking out Madison
Yeah,
Keys
I guess so. Yeah.
from 7-6, 3-love down
Yeah.
to come back and get the biggest win of her career. I mean, she was very emotional, but considering Madison Keys now Grand Slam champion, former US Open finalist as well, this was one, I know we toyed with it in the draw preview and you were saying, come on, Zarazua, you always say she's pretty good. I never even saw this ever happening. I thought Madison Keys would completely batter her. And how wrong could I be? Like Zarazua turned up, Madison Keys. Yeah, she sort of
Did she
lost the
really
plot.
turn up though, Ben? I mean, if you watch the match, she did what she had to do and beat an opponent who hit 89 unforced errors,
That's
who
it.
collapsed from a position where she was.
She
And
collapsed.
Madison Keys has done this before, but she is a fantastic player. But listen, she's got the ability to completely collapse, Ostapenko style.
Yes. Yeah, it was shocking really to hit so many unforced errors, so many double faults as well, 14 double faults in this match. Yeah, hopefully she comes back. That was the one thing I said, like Madison Keys has now ironed out all of the unforced errors. And that's
Yeah,
why I
no.
thought that should be going a bit further in this tournament, but it's clearly not the case. Maybe she needs another racket change. I'm not sure what's the reason for all of this poor performance, but yeah, that's a massive upset for me. Svitolina out, Keys out, and terrible for my bracket as well is Mboko out. It's not really as big a upset, but the
No.
way she was playing, I thought
Well,
she'd
it's with the
beat most.
bookmakers. It is with the bookmakers. A lot of people were fancying Mboko to do well, ourselves included. Maybe you a little bit more than me. But
Yeah,
on paper, Krejcikova defeating Mboku is not shocking. The other two probably bigger. I should have included them when I was saying it a second ago. Madison Keys just slipped from my mind, but yeah, definitely that is a huge one. Krejcikova defeating Mboko straight sets. It can happen. I mean, Krejcikova is a player it's very difficult to run a podcast and speak about because you don't actually know. I feel like I can turn myself up and down in so many different circles, round and round.
yeah,
I don't know what to say about Barbara because
no,
we know on her day she wins Grand Slams. On the other day she loses to anyone on the tour. She's obviously suffered with a lot of injuries, but there's no doubt in her technical ability. Technically, she's a top 10 player in the world. And when she puts it all together, she beats a lot of players. And I think mentally, she's stronger than most players as well. She was a few years back one of the few people against Iga who used to really produce a good match. And that's always stuck in my mind, some of them battles she's had with Iga over the years. And it highlights how good she is in the bigger moments. But here, this is a good learning curve for Mboku. She's so young. She will be back. Mira Andreeva has had to suffer similar defeats when she first broke through, and look how she's doing now. So I think this is all part of the journey for her. I wouldn't overreact at all, and you can certainly lose to Krejcikova. There's been a lot more experienced and seasoned professionals than Mboku lose to Krejcikova.
yeah, definitely. And obviously, we know how good doubles player that she has been. Maybe the split with Siniakova, that could be her coming back to the singles tour with more of a bang, with some bigger results. Obviously, this tournament, no one's expecting her to win it, so she always slips under the radar a little bit. Barbora Krejcikova. Everybody sort of looks at her name and thinks, don't really expect her to do much until she's in the latter stages, and then you're like, well, if she's got this far, she could potentially win it.
Well, she doesn't play many tournaments. She's only played 8 tournaments in 2025, and it's only her 9th win of the season.
It's just crazy. But yeah, like you say, injuries and who knows where her headspace is at, but she is a dual Grand Slam champion. She's got a win at Wimbledon. She's got a win at Roland Garros. Can she get a win on a hard court slam as well? Then she's nearly pretty much completed tennis, hasn't she? I mean, it's a bit insane, really, for somebody who not much of a fan favorite. I don't think that she would be alluding to the fact that she is, but yeah, a very odd player. Never know what to predict. Who knows? She might go out the next round, or she might win in straight sets again. But we'll keep an eye on her. But
she had a lot of nice things to say about Mboko afterwards. She wished her good luck for the tournament. She spoke about her talent and how she thinks she's a fantastic player. She followed what she did in Montreal, like a lot of us did.
yeah,
And that's probably why we've gone so big on her. But a little bit of recency bias from you, Ben.
yeah,
Wouldn't be a Grand Slam without it, would it?
Yeah, this is the one problem that I said about it, and was it could be she's just only good in Canada, because obviously winning the tournament in your home, well, not home slam, but home masters, is probably better for some players than playing in enemy territory, let's say, and probably the nerves get the best of you when you get to the big show. Unfortunately, she's out, but I think she'll be back strong, and she will be somebody who goes deep in slams in the future. It's killed my bracket, which is absolutely terrible, as I'm sure Madison Keys has killed your one as well. But the big guns are still in, and we've got Iga. She'll be in action, I believe, later today, and we both have her as champion. So fingers crossed Iga makes it through the tournament. Somebody who is out will stick with the women's just for now, and a really great effort from her, which was Venus Williams. And I know that we keep on writing Venus Williams off. She only had that one win that when she came back against Stearns, but she actually played pretty well against Mukova. She took it all the way to 3 sets as well.
Yeah,
I didn't
ridiculous.
see that coming.
Taking a set is magical. Mukova, you could see the appreciation she had for such a tennis icon and legend after the match. I wasn't expecting her to win. I think the serve was too much from Mukova in that third set. She was unable to compete, but I think she can leave with a head held high after taking a set. Impressive. 45 years old, still out there, producing competitive results. And you'd have to say a third set match, as much as the third set wasn't competitive, managing to win a set against someone of a caliber like a Mukova is insane, because Mukova, the only time she's really been losing is to the very best. We know how good she can be.
Yeah. Mukova been a bit up and down, but yeah, she finished this match strong, and you can see there at the net just shaking hands with the legend Venus Williams. She's through to the next round. She will face either Sastea or Sierra in the next round. Watch out. I think that's going to be Sastea. She's actually been in great form recently, so watch out for her. She can sometimes have a crazy slam tournament, and that's not going to be an easy match if that is the matchup. Let's move over to somebody who is great at slams, it seems, and is now 12-0 in sets in Grand Slam first rounds, and it's your man, Joao Fonseca.
Yeah, that's right. He is my man. He is my wild card for the year. It's great that TN went out and Fonseca's gone through, because that's going to give me a few more points, because they're so close in the rankings at the moment. But Joao Fonseca, 12-0 in sets in Grand Slam first rounds, doesn't even drop a set. He always wins the first rounds. The problem with him this year is, beyond that, he's looked a little bit shaky. And opponents, after you've seen him win, I don't know if you've got the opponents he's beaten in the opening rounds. I know one was Rublev, was one.
It was
gone now.
What's his name? Hurkacz.
Hurkacz as well.
Yeah.
And the other one I can't remember. But he's beaten some top players in the early rounds, and the second rounds or third rounds or second rounds have always been a little bit more, okay, he can win this one. He's just beaten Hurkacz, just beaten Rublev. Why can't he go and win this next one? And then he loses. So I don't want to get too carried away with him like I have done for every single Grand Slam. But the way he's been playing and the way he played against Kecmanovic is enough to beat. Tell me who he's got in the next round. Remind me.
He has in the next round, just bear with me. He has Thomas Machac.
I think it's enough. I think it's enough to beat him, someone who has suffered with a lot of injuries this year. I do have him losing that in the bracket. I think Thomas Mahatch is not the player he was sort of a year ago, and I think it's a very winnable match for Fonseca. I would put him as my favourite. I don't know how the bookers have it, but he is the favourite for me to beat Thomas Mahatch in that match.
He
And let's see how he fares.
dead level, 1.91 apiece between these two. The bookies have it, but yeah, like you say, I think that he will fancy his chances. Coming into the tournament, 45 in the world. Thomas Mahatch, number 22 in the world. The other name that you were searching for in Grand Slam first round was Jacob Fernley at Wimbledon. So that's a real tough matchup. Fernley on
Exactly.
grass.
They've all been really tough, and he's not dropped a set.
Yeah, it's astonishing. And this match against Kecmanovic, I was actually really surprised that he won the first set because he was down and he was he managed to claw it all the way back and then just win that first set. And I think that gave him the confidence to go on and win the rest of the match in more convincing fashion. Watch out, Thomas Mahatch, because this kid brings not only firepower, but he brings a whole stadium full of people with him to every single match. And I think the US Open could be like the perfect style of tournament for Joao Fonseca. It's a little bit crazy. It's a little bit noisy. There's a lot of emotion. And I think that plays into exactly what he's all about as a tennis player. And we could see the biggest performance, like a breakout tournament from him at the US Open. We've seen it from other players. This is the place where sort of like there's magic on a court. You get the late night sessions, that type of thing. I hope that if he gets through this one, they whack him on like a late night or something like that. It'll be amazing.
And let's remember, this is his best tournament. This will be his best Grand Slam out of all of them. The reason I say that, in 2023, obviously he won the US Open in the juniors. He then has won a challenger on Lexington in America. He won one in Phoenix as well on hard court. And if you look at his record, I was just having a little scan through to verify what I was saying. In 2025, he's 20 wins, 5 losses on a hard court. On a clay, it's 8 wins, 5 losses, and grass is dead even at 3 apiece. Hard is his surface. He prefers the hard courts. A bit like Carlos Alcaraz when he first come through. We saw him really take to the US Open hard court. Since then, he's gone back to clay and dominated. But Joao Fonseca, I think this is going to be his best slam. And if he's going to go far in one of them, it will be the US Open. Whether this year is a little bit too soon, I'm not sure. Only time will tell how he gets on in the next round. But certainly over the next sort of 3 years, I would expect him to get to a semi-final, final, or even win a US Open before any of the other slams.
Yeah. I think that he performs well in this style of event. So I would agree with that. Obviously, when we saw Alcaraz have his breakout tournament, that was the US Open as well. And I think that he brings something sort of similar to like Alcaraz brings. It's not like your robotic like style of tennis where it's all so clean and it's sometimes a little bit dirty, a little bit gritty, and he just has to just fight to just push things over the line and get the crowd involved, that type of thing. No better place than New York to do that. And I'm excited. Even though it's your wild card, every time he steps on court, I'm sort of want to see what's coming next. Is there an improvement? Who can he beat next? Because if he beats Mahatch, that's a massive, massive win. And that'll give him confidence going into the next round as well. So Mahatch, like you said, you reckon he's going to retire, I think you said in the draw preview.
Yeah.
He'll be down and then he'll probably have an injury and then Fonseca goes through maybe comfortably.
Yeah, I agree with everything you've said. Watch out for him. Very nice guy. Definitely up and down a little bit like a Carlos Alcaraz. But he was there after the match for 15 minutes signing autographs. A lot of fans come out in the US for him. Probably a big Brazilian population there. And he was getting so much love and he was reciprocating it, signing autographs for a long time on the court, more than any other player. Over 15 minutes just there, just signing everything. Wow. Going to some of the other results which happened, I don't know which one you want to start with, but I guess you could look at Draper because he won in 4 sets. That was a big one for him. The third set was super tight and he lost in a really close tiebreak against Gomez. But yeah, he should be winning that match. Gomez is nowhere near the level and I think he burnt him out. But based off that performance, I'm not really encouraged with Jack Draper that he's going to do some great things. And I think who's in these sections? It must be Carlos Alcaraz, right?
No, it's Sinner.
Sinner, sorry.
Yep.
Sinner will be very pleased. Sinner will be very pleased. I don't think this version of Draper can be too much of a threat, in my opinion. Holgeruna got the job done in straight sets. I was expecting that. Did you have Van der Zandschulp winning?
No, but I thought there might be a set, or could have been like a little mini banana skin in there.
There was almost a banana skin for Kaboli against Pissarro. That one went all the way to 5 sets.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if he was going to win that 5th set, especially after Pissarro took the 4th.
Yep, definitely. I was shocked when I saw it went all the way to 5. But sometimes when you're both from the same nation, you know the other player's game so well, and it can be a trickier first round matchup than some of the others on the tour. So I think that's probably the reason that it happened. But he showed his fighting spirit to get through. I expect him to play a lot better in round 2. Another one that I just want to give a quick shout out before we wrap up, which was, there's 2 actually, got to throw some respect on Komasana's name, because he has been doing well on hard courts. I know I always say, oh, he's a bit more of a clay courter. He's not really. I think he's shown himself on grass now. He's shown himself on hard courts. He's great on the clay as well. He is a multi-surface player, and he's getting better and better. Beating Mickelson in America, that's not easy. Mickelsen's got a massive serve as well. This was impressive. Well done to him.
I'll expect him now to get up through the rankings. His rankings is not high enough for the ability he possesses. And I agree with you. He is just a very good player. Like a Cerundolo, when he sort of come through, started with the clay and then sort of moved into all of the other surfaces as well. And I think he's certainly very dangerous. Apart from that, all of the men's were pretty bog standard, business as usual. Not loads of upsets, because some of them are quite close matches anyway. On the women's, we spoke about the big upsets.
I was going to say, one sec. Just want to give JG quick shout out for his betting tip of the draw preview. There you go. So JG's betting tip of the draw preview was this to go over 3.5 sets, which was Khachanov versus Basavaredi. And there you go. Drop the first set and then 1 in 4. So well done to you for that great prediction. Hopefully someone made some money out there.
I don't suppose the odds were great. It probably wasn't not my greatest one, but still I was expecting him to take a set, which he did. But yeah, Khachanov too good. On the women's, Sakari won a Grand Slam match, which I think is something to speak about, because she never wins them these days. Iva Jovic won in straight sets for you. Yep. And one of my favourite players, Mirjana Andreeva, won in 55 minutes. Probably one of the most dominant performances so far this tournament.
Yeah, she seems to be starting Grand Slams very well recently. I'm hoping that we get to see her at the back end of slams as well. But yeah, you can't knock her. She knows how to just get these early round players out the way with like impressive fashion. Anne Lee, somebody I said would go through. I know that one of my favorite players. You said Shramkova, so it's a little win for me in our little bracket battle. But I don't think there's anybody else really that needs to be spoken about. There's obviously some matches on day 3. It is now. We're going to start getting confused. These are sort of the picks of the day, I would say, mainly on the men's side. We've got Musetti versus Mpechi Pericard, Bublik versus Cilic, and Tsitsipas versus Muller. Those are the matches I would say watch out for today, because I think we've got some popcorn in all of those.
Yep, let's wrap it up there. Thanks everyone for tuning in to our day 2 video. Not so many crazy moments like yesterday with Daniel Medvedev. The big one being Fonseca doing what he's doing. Some big upsets on the women's. Keys going out surprised me massively. It's not good for my bracket either. And of course, Carlos Alcaraz's hair. Let us know, do you like it? His tennis is doing the business right now. I think he's going to have some more battles later on in the tournament for sure. And we'll see you tomorrow for another episode. Make sure, if you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you soon.